Well, good Saturday morning. A rainy day here in Kansas City, Missouri. So I sat down here to do the Lower Lights Devotional. Thanks for letting me share a few minutes with you. I'm trying to talk about my ministry down across 48 years, different places that I've been privileged to minister, the wonderful people that I've pastored. Tell you, with very few exceptions, I have been so blessed to have so many fine people call me pastor. I'd like to say happy birthday to my brother Bill. I don't think he watches my devotional. At least he's never indicated that he has. He just don't know what he's missing, does he? But anyway, Bill and I are the same age now. He's turning 71 today. And I won't turn 72 until the 30th of this month. So for about 3 weeks, Bill and I are both the same age. And I'm proud of my brother Bill and the man that he is, the minister that he is. And I just want to say happy birthday, Bill. Well, I do want to mention, too, as I've been talking about different places I've pastored and the wonderful people up in the little rural setting of Bidonville, Missouri. Bidonville just kind of a white spot in the road, really, as the saying goes. I think that when I was there, it perhaps was said that maybe there were 35 people living within the town limit of Bidonville. Don't know whether there'd be that many now or not, but anyway, I'd like to just give a shout out today to Warren Ross. He listens to my devotional every day, and I pastored his grandparents while I was there. And then Rhonda Hinkle. Keith and Rhonda were just a young married couple when I pastored there at Bidonville. And I know that Rhonda is on Facebook and watches my devotional and comments from time to time on the different posts that I put up. So we've still got some connection with Bidonville. But, you know, I was wanting to indicate yesterday, I just talked about mainly how busy we were with 5 kids and, you know, just the responsibilities that were upon us with our family and all. But the Lord proved himself true in one situation that I'll try to tell quickly here. We just closed a revival meeting with my father-in-law, O.E. Price, on a Sunday night. And on a Monday morning, he hadn't gone home yet. I had a 65 Oldsmobile 98. I'd paid $650 for that Oldsmobile 98. It was a beautiful car, but I couldn't keep oil in it. I mean, that thing went through a quart of oil in no time. So explaining to my father-in-law that my car was just really burning a lot of oil, he said, well, we'll look into it before I leave and fix it. Now, he can do just about anything, but he just stood there and told me what to do. So I got it jacked up, and he instructed me to get under there and to take all the bolts off the oil pan, which I did. Then he began to tell me different steps that I ought to take, and we found out that there was an oil ring that had collapsed or burned up or something in one of the pistons. So he instructed me on how to get the piston out and trip to the auto parts. We had an oil ring, and wasn't too long until it was completely assembled and we were ready to start it. Well, as usual, there probably wasn't much gas in the tank, and it was jacked up in the front, so it wasn't starting. He was sitting there cranking the engine. I got a quart oil can. That's when the oil came in those round tin cans, you know, not the screw top bottles. And I filled that with gas to prime the carburetor. And as I was priming the carburetor and he was cranking the engine backfired and that can of gas exploded and I was badly burned. Won't go into any detail, but I was in excruciating pain. And he had a brand new Javelin, American Motors Javelin, and we piled into that car and down that little old narrow winding blacktop road to the closest doctor there in Salisbury. Within 15 minutes, we were walking in the doctor's office. Doctor said, oh, you've got some bad burns. You better go right on over to Moberly to the hospital. I said, Doc, I don't have insurance. I can't go to the hospital. He said, that's where you need to be. And I said, well, I just can't go. And he said, well, I can give you some pain pills. So he kept me there in the office for a couple hours to ensure that I wasn't going to go into shock, and sent me home with a bottle of high-powered pain pills. That evening I was eating those things like popcorn, and it's still as though somebody had a blowtorch to my arm and where I was mainly burned. And I finally told Carol, called the doctor, I'm ready to go to the hospital. So my folks came over from Mexico, Missouri, drove me over to Moberly to the hospital, and I spent several days there trying to get the pain under control. And, you know, during that time, I couldn't drive my school bus, and we were just a little bit concerned about the lack of income that we'd learned to depend upon. But, you know, those neighbors up there in that little community began stopping by the house, bringing sacks of food from their freezer, raiding their pantry. And I tell you, we had more groceries in that house than we'd ever had before. And I thought about that verse, I was young and now I am old, yet I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging bread. God made that so very real to me at that time, and I've hung on to that so many times across the years. Well, I've gone over time. We'll see you Monday on Lord Lights Devotional, and hope to see a bunch of you at the Lighthouse Chapel tomorrow. Goodbye.